Hey guys, this is Captain Paladin here, the Super Paladin Bros, and welcome back to an episode of Star Trek DS9 Harbinger. And we're gonna go right into it. In this episode, we're gonna view Kerrig's logs and see what we can get out of it. So let's go ahead and get started.
You have obtained access to the records of Kerrig, first ambassador of the Tyrian Galactic Federation of Planets. Unauthorized. Immediately. Point 3. Have completed the journey through the stable wormhole and en route to the rendezvous with the sent a draft of the first Federation to the and I'm awaiting a reply.
Content irretrievable.
The logs are gonna be garbled or irretrievable, so the static is something you're gonna have to get used to. And that's just how it is.
First contact has been facing some difficulty with the universal translate malfunction or linguistic incompatibility. Fortunately, my own linguistic skills to open a rudimentary dialogue. At first glance, the technology of traces of latinum in most metallic bases.
Overcome my frustration. The desire to communicate is so great. I am so reticent. It's not interested in pursuing contact. Realized being enough interaction for the universe create a sufficient linguistic base. Had I stumbled upon a first contact only to be cultural xenophobia? Days here grow short. Do it in the next 4 days. How can I hope to affirm they forced to leave before cementing criteria for first contacted by a group here in the gamma loose affiliation of species, hints and insinuations valuable merchandise. I would like to dismiss French group, however. Reputation for those to miss an opportunity to leave.
Content irretrievable.
Left the Scythians unsure of the status of our relationship. I will have time to study the linguistic accumulated during my visit. A thought has come to me to apply Ren Ngar's regressive to the linguistic base. Somehow a stronger communication must be further our relationship with the Scythians. Difficulty in finding these aliens. The great mystery surrounding this so-called valuable item. I find it all rather adolescent. The Federation Ambassador Delivery Service. I believe it should be made clear. The Ambassadorial Corps provides a unique service. From me, or from the Federation. I resent the position an object whose work is dubious to begin with. I meet in 1 hour with the take possession of the devices. I hope their function and value will make this side trip worth.
Alright, so there's something about devices that Ambassador Kerrig had, or sought to obtain.
Eureka! I believe I have the root cause of the Scythians' reticence. It is not fear of contact at all. Clarity of communication. Dear to them, they value individual context is our overly verbose. Overwhelm them. Economy. Minimal combinations. I now look forward to contact when I will be into use. Force data has been relocated to the person. Force data has been relocated to the person. Warning, you have obtained access to the personal logs of Kerrig. Personal log Kerrig, Stardate 48. Voyage through the wormhole was exhilarating. I should poem about it when I call off too. Cardassian haiku. You on my Cardassian diligently and mastering yet another language. Decision. Heard. Warp capabilities. Probability already picked warp signals. I grew very excited. Nothing is as invigorating as first contact. Rest my belief that the birds vis-a-vis first contact too strict. She fell under acceptable guidelines. Discovered the most delicious poem. Jika. Read this epic in its original Klingon, as opposed to the abysmal translation accompanies the Klingon text, brought a great clarity inherent in all artistic translations. Read the Scythians pointed that I was not Patience got farther. I was beginning to feel timidity, cautious reticence to consider contact a failure. I am no friend to personal failure and would not like to open relationship at this late stage in my life.
So apparently Kerrig was kind of worried about failing his negotiations or first contact, especially at this stage.
After several so-called talks with this so-called Confederation of Species, I begin to miss the quiet reserve of the Scythians. We talk and talk, but they have yet to deliver these supposedly valuable devices. I'm an errand boy, ambassador of interplanetary repute. This device had just unbelievable. Deliver 7 such devices in my hands. Safekeeping. If these truly function as promised, some trick, be the scientific edge has even out our military ambassador. This of the Dominion's own make. Learn of Dominion science and jewels.
So apparently these devices somehow has a military value or something like that.
Content irretrievable.
Seem to light refraction technology more sophisticated than the barriers floating field. In the wrong must be guarded. Never the Confederation told refraction matters. No, they are in my possession. Used device to slip. High security zone on Kolos 2. I'm not certain the code is safe for me. I must get the right hands. I'm sure that Captain Sis, the device is safe. Deep space done with transients and mercenaries. Just the solution attempt. Personal for that young man involved in the Camillus incident. I don't have suspicions with a non-Tyrian, and it seems the skills I need.
So that apparently he was actually trying to get these in the right hands, and the only person he trusted, and kind of going off the limb on this one, but for Bannik's abilities.
And within hours of deep devices are well hidden. Concerned that others know where I have. Bannik is not yet directly to my quarters and wait. Self at risk, at least for that is I have this.
Now, further explain that, yep. Apparently, in going off on what he's trying to say is that apparently that Bannik had security, and kind of looking back, Kerrig needed his help. And with all these devices of quote, refraction mantles that he had, apparently this is kind of a big deal, that he needed his help to protect them.
I'm scanning the devices. This is do indeed create the fact, the wearer. It may be. I'm scanning the devices. This is do indeed create the fact, the wearer. It may be.
Well, things just started to become interesting. Refraction mantles. And refraction means invisibility. And if you remember what Vedic Rasmus says, we're kind of invisible ghosts been going around.
Bannik! You managed to access Kerrig's logs. Congratulations. Dax to Cisco.
Go ahead, Lieutenant.
All logs are open, Captain. Bannik cracked both ciphers.
Well done. My compliments to the Ambassador. Dax, the Major and I have been discussing...
I'm advocating a preemptive strike on the drones.
Strike? When?
As soon as possible. Right now.
The Major feels that we should attack the drones now, before their numbers become unmanageable. Is the Ambassador there?
Bannik here, Captain.
A report, please, Ambassador, on your progress with the Scythians.
Limited success only, Captain. But I've found something in Ambassador Kerrig's logs that might help. He said that the Scythians value individual words and economy of language. I'm going to try that approach. Try not to overwhelm them with words.
Economy of language. Let's hope that helps. What have you learned so far?
One of them mentioned Citadel. It's a place. I don't know where.
Go on.
They strongly associate the concept of drones with the action of destroy.
Not surprising, Ambassador. So do I.
Yes, Ambassador, continue.
One Scythian indicated he'd like to show Citadel to us.
It's clear you need to talk again with the Scythians and learn more. Perhaps what's left of Ambassador Kerrig's logs will be of help. Cisco to Yarrow.
Yarrow here, Captain.
Ensign, are the Scythians available for negotiations? Ambassador Bannik.
Negative, sir. That is, they're not in the airlock. Captain, we have a malfunctioning airlock door here.
What do you mean?
The approach door, sir. It keeps opening and closing by itself.
Report it to engineering, Ensign, and if the Scythians show themselves, alert the Ambassador immediately.
Yes, sir. Yarrow out.
Benjamin, Bannik hasn't had a chance to...
Captain, the drones! We need to act!
That's enough! Major, you want to calmly tell Bannik and Dax your proposed plan of action?
Yes, sir. Look, the drones come here one at a time. When they're all here,
They'll all attack. Why wait for that? Let's take the runabout, clean up the drones around the station, then follow the drones back to their source, destroying them one by one.
You understand what she's proposing, Ambassador?
So you think we should begin to fight this war on our initiative, not theirs?
Exactly. Make them wonder what will happen next.
You're saying that if we attack now, we can fight them one by one?
Infinitely better than tackling them all at once, yes.
Thank you, Major.
Dax, I take it you don't agree with Major Kira's plan?
No. We'll win the battle but lose the war. These second-wave drones are phaser-resistant. To defeat them, we'll have to use the photon torpedoes. Once we do, we'll see a new, deadlier drone appear. It's this third wave of drones that we must fear. And the sooner we attack any drone, the sooner this final wave will be upon us. If it arrives before the Defiant returns, we'll be out of surprises.
Bannik, you've heard the arguments. Your advice, please.
You say the new drones are phaser-resistant? How do you know?
Sensors indicated. A lot more duranium in their hulls. Clearly faster, tougher, more capable machines.
What do you think of Kira's idea, to follow the drones back to their source?
The drones come from somewhere beyond runabout range. I'm positive of that. We need the Defiant.
There is a deep space-capable ship here at the station. The Scythian ship.
Unfortunately for us, it belongs to someone else, and it's weaponless.
Lieutenant, you say the drones learn about our weapons and then send new drones resistant to them. What if we stop them from getting the message?
Stop the courier drone, you mean?
Exactly.
Now that's an idea. Break their reinforcement chain.
I think the Ambassador has uncovered a new course of action. No runabout mission at this time. We continue preparations for the drone attack. Dax, see if you can create a simulated mission against the drones. Get it loaded into one of Quark's holosuites.
Yes, sir.
Major, when Dax alerts you that the drone buildup is complete, you will take the Hudson. This time, we'll make sure no courier drone escapes through the wormhole.
Yes, Captain.
Bannik, our best chance of survival depends on better understanding our enemy and our potential friends. Please consider your negotiations with the Scythians as a matter of the highest importance.
I understand.
Good. Cisco out.
Well, Bannik, despite your protestations, I see you have some diplomatic skills after all.
Diplomatic skills? What do you mean?
You found the middle way, Bannik. The one course we could all agree on. Anything else, Ambassador?
Jadzia, Kerrig's logs. There's a lot of static.
Bannik, if you saw what metachlorinide does to equipment, almost everything has been corroded away.
I was wondering if you could help me listen to the logs, maybe decipher some of the trickier parts.
All right. Which ones in particular?
Some of the logs mention devices of some sort. Something valuable.
Valuable enough to kill for?
That's what I wondered, too. There's one here called Clarity. Something about a breakthrough with the Scythians.
Sounds like exactly what you need. Let's hear it.
Eureka! I believe I have the root cause of the Scythians' reticence. It is not fear of contact at all. Clarity of communication. Dear to them, they value individual. Context is our overly verbose. Overwhelm them. Economy. Minimal combinations. I now look forward to contact where I will be into use.
Our overly verbose something or other overwhelm them. I think he's saying we use too many words.
Clarity. Economy.
Try that next time you talk to the Scythians. Talk like they do. One word. The right word.
In one of his personal logs, he talks about something called refraction mantles.
Refraction mantle. Did he explain what it was?
He also talked about getting a hold of 7 very valuable devices. If those devices were the refraction mantles...
I think you better tell Odo about this. It sounds like you may have uncovered a motive for murder.
He tucked some tricorder scan data into his personal logs.
I'm going to download these scans into the station computer, Bannik. Maybe it can make some sense of all of this.
That's all for now, Lieutenant. Thanks.
Alright, well, we just found some very, very interesting stuff here. Refraction. We also heard some devices. We've just uncovered some motive for murder. Big time.
Computer. Promenade, level 7, section 5.
And when it comes to refraction, it's basically bending of light. In Star Trek universe, bending of light usually indicates cloaking. And we all know that the Dominion has cloaking technology in terms of how they
Computer?
can shroud themselves.
Locate Chief of Security, Odo.
Chief of Security Odo is located in Cargo Bay 4, in the Habitat Ring, level 11, section 6.
Well, we're gonna have to pay him a visit here. It's kinda... we gotta tell him about what we found out. And the Blue Light Oceans are not there anymore. That is a bit strange. But we're gonna go ahead and meet up with him. First of all, I think we're gonna pay a visit to the Bajoran Vedic, Rasmus. But before we even do that, we're actually going to go and meet up with Major Kira. I'm going to find Major Kira in this corridor here. Like right there, working on the turbolift.
Envoy. I mean Ambassador. We're still having a little...
Carlton, Akira. Major, I've got the primary shaft couplings realigned now. You want to try it again?
Affirmative. Where can I take you, Ambassador?
Ops, please.
Computer. Maintenance override 771. Ops. Damn! Kira to Carlton. It's still failing in Section 12.
I see it. Hang on.
I'm sorry, Ambassador. This should only take a minute. It's these old Cardassian systems. Once they're down, you have to drag them, kicking and screaming, back online. Has there been any word?
You mean about the Ambassador's murder?
I know this must be difficult for you. When I was in the Bajoran Resistance, my cell leader was tortured to death by the Cardassians. I had to take on his role, keep the mission intact. When that happens, there's no time to grieve.
I'm sure Mr. Odo will track down the killer.
Oh, you can count on it. If the killer is still on this station, they're gonna wish they'd never seen Deep Space Nine. Carlton, what's going on down there?
It's a support relay on 11, Major. Looks like it was fused to the casing. I'll need the particle torch.
Well, we don't have the particle torch. No one has the particle torch. You'll have to use a hand phaser.
All right. This'll take a minute.
Is this the same torch you asked Mr. Odo about?
What damnedest thing. It just disappeared. If it was smaller, I'd think a vole dragged it off. Brian's going to be furious if we don't find that thing before he gets back.
What's a vole?
Cardassian rodents. Disgusting, hairy little vermin. The station's infested with them. Surprised you haven't seen one.
Who's O'Brien?
He's our chief of engineering. He's kind of precise about his tools.
Could someone have stolen it?
I was facing the only exit. I'd have been staring right at them. It's just... There have been a lot of odd incidents lately.
Do you think it's because of the rising?
What did you say?
It's something the Vedic Rasmus told me about.
Rasmus. She's a very devoted student of the prophecies. Let's see. A cloud about the temple gates darkens rising night. Unbelievers tremble at the Harbinger's cleansing might.
Cloud about the temple gates. The plasma storm?
Why not? Our faith in the prophets is part of what kept Bajor whole while the Cardassians tried to tear us apart. The prophets use the sacred texts to instruct us and to warn us of the threats the future can hold.
Carlton, Kira.
Kira here. Go ahead.
Sorry about the delay, Major, but melted uranium is harder than a...
Then a Cardassian's heart, I know. Ready for another try?
Yes, sir. Resetting the command buffer. Go ahead.
Keep your fingers crossed, Ambassador. Computer, maintenance override 771. Ops. Good luck, Ambassador.
Well, Kira is a deep spiritual person herself. She is a believer of the prophets herself. But having said all that, so far the prophecy is becoming true.
Take me to the habitat ring, section 6.
So I guess we're going to go ahead and end the episode, guys. In the next video, we're going to go ahead and meet up with the Scythians again and try to negotiate, but also we're going to have to tell Odo about what we found out. I think he should know what's going on. So in the next video, we'll do that. So I've been Captain Paladin of the Super Paladin Bros. Leave a like, also subscribe. Check out the playlist section at paladinbros.com. And we'll see you guys next time. Episode 7. Peace.